Hello humans, Master Dinner Flex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and today I got a quick update. So, first and foremost, I guess I verified, and this channel is now monetized, which is shocking, to be totally honest. But like legacy videos or videos I think are important, I'm just not gonna like run ads on them. A perfect example is the custom card video I made probably 4 years ago. I know somewhere out there there's a Discord that actively uses that video because it gets legacy views all the time. So I'm just going to leave that one as it is. And it's going to be like that for some videos anyways. But if you see ads, there are ways that you can not pay attention to them. Otherwise, YouTube is paying me to babysit you, which is PogChamp. Now, that's unrelated to what I got right here. So today, I'm going to be updating Lair of Darkness for the new format, and while, yes, this is a deck profile, one thing I want to mention before we get into this deck profile is, as it currently stands, the power level of Yu-Gi-Oh! Due to this ban list has actually fallen quite sharply. That's not to say that we won't run into stupid nonsense still, but if you think about it, while Sword Soul and Branded have been pretty good decks, and Branded being the best deck, the fact that Auroradon and Meow Mew and Verte Anaconda have been eliminated from the game, it has really changed the power level of what a going first deck can do. And while even if these weren't the best decks, their complete erasure from the game has allowed going second to, like, be playable. And I've noticed this almost instantaneously as people started testing the format. But in addition to that, I've also noticed that from just raw playtesting with like agents and a few other things, and I was beginning to think, what would be the odds I could make a go second deck? So I was thinking around, tinkering a little, and I remember one of my earliest ideas for Lair of Darkness post Alice was to make a go second Lair of Darkness deck, because Alice, being able to like search your deck for a Lady of Lament, getting it to tribute that way is kind of annoying, but also, not only that, it's very aggressive, like, pushy manner of Alice works way better going second than going first. And when you look at the best two decks, Despia, Sword Soul, which I don't even know if Sword Soul is going to stay in that position, but those two decks, while they are powerful, their inboards are pretty fair. Not joking, they're pretty fair, so you could just go about doing a go second build, and that's what I have here. And now let's get into it. I'll explain kind of quickly over these choices so you can get an idea of what's going on. So, despite the fact that it is a trap deck, we have triple Lilith, Lady of Lament. Not only are they going second traps, but in addition to that, it's a quick tributor with Lair of Darkness. Now you play this like any other go second deck ever. It's that you throw cards at your opponent to force out all their important disruptions, and then finally the more fragile plays you have left, that's what you try to end with to like blow your opponent out of the game, completely out resource them. So like Lilith Lair is an example, things like that. That's basically what you're trying to do. And then because this is a going second version, you actually play anywhere from 2 to 3 Alice. The reason for that is, not joking, you can banish a trap to special summon it, and then you can run it into your opponent's monster, and during the damage step, search Lilith, so they can't ash you. I'm not joking, that is a very, very common play with this kind of build. There was something like that, like, back in 2018, where Ko's second alter guys would normal tomato and just run it, summon Multi-Faker, summon a Disruption. And that was like a thing you would see in occasional deck lists before Extravagance came out, and that was very funny. But that's basically the same idea with this. and you can either play 1 or 0 of this. The thing is, it being a quick tributor is so important, but at the same time, when you're maxing out on Alice, you are just playing 6 Liliths in this kind of build. So, up to you. I would still recommend trying to get down to 40 cards, whichever one you decide to cut. Then Triple Tour Guide, definitely the most fragile play in the deck, but it's still a consistency booster that this deck definitely needs. Then we got Triple Arima, it searches the field spell. This deck's main deck, Link 1, I guess. And also, the tributing effect is also very relevant, because we're playing 2 Diablos. In normal versions of Lair, I absolutely hate this card, but it just so happens that the last version I did, which was branded, really likes playing this because it just goes from deck to graveyard. And in this version, you are trying to punch your opponent's shit in. And a perfect way to do that is with big monsters. And this is a big monster. So, yeah, 2 Diablos. You could probably cut it down to 1, but it's actually kind of nice to draw. But you don't want to flood it because there's still only a handful of ways to tribute it in this deck, which is, like, honestly one of the this deck's main problem with Diablos. And then 1 Paint, because it's broken. And then for the spells, Triple Lair, Terraforming, Pot of Prosperity, and then what I like to call Exodia, Enemy Controller. If you thought, like, Alice doing some neat stuff in the battle phase is cool, how about Special Alice, take with Enemy Controller, search a Lady of Lament, normal summon it. There are some absolutely wicked applications with this card. If you, like, go into a Sword Soul board and they have the level 8 and the new level 10 Synchro, you can normal Tour Guide, and when they try to hit it with the level 8, just tribute it, take the level 10, and now you have another Dark Monster on board, so you can run into the other Synchro and then make a Link 2. But, yeah. Very cool applications with Enemy Controller. Very nice. Oh, and it doesn't need to be said. Tribute an opponent's monster to take another opponent's monster is very neat. And then Double Ties. This is a little weird, but Prosperity's almost a card that just searches your deck for any card in it. It's a very powerful card. And this card is almost like a failsafe. Like, oh, they hit me a lot, so I need to, like, regain some card advantage. So that's what Ties is in here more than what it actually does. It's not doing any going first combo, but it's there. And it's definitely helpful, but arguably necessary. And then 2 Super Poly, you could max it out, but like I said with the Prosperity, it just changes how you view, like, unsearchable cards, because this card just digs so deep. But yeah, 2 Super Poly, and then every deck in the format for some reason just seems to struggle against this card. Maxed out on this. It could be switched out for other things, but you basically just want to play a card that's, like, really, really unfair as a normal trap. And then afterwards, triple evenly matched, go second build, triple imperm, go second build, and then 2 back to the front to try to keep a floating engine going down if you're in an actually interactive game. Because this deck doesn't OTK that often, but if you're not OTKing, you want to stay in the game until your opponent's out of resources, basically snowball them, and this is a card that allows you to do that. Even though I'm not a big fan of this card in this build, but it almost feels like a requirement. And then for the side deck, I'm going to save this one for last, but we got 2 Dark Kaiju, it's searchable in the deck. And then Deck Lockdown, this was the only card I could think of that I could side in if I'm forced to go first. And it's a card I can just always side deck against Flunder, which regardless if I'm going first or second. Because if you go second against Flunder, their true disruption is to activate the trap and start the whole cycle again on your turn. But if you just activate Deck Lockdown, that doesn't happen. You just activate it. They can normal summon 1 bird from their hand, and that is it. They can't do anything else. So, this card seems pretty cool against that strategy. The final Super Poly for Branded, Feather Duster for Trap nonsense. Change of Heart. So, this is a new part of the ban list, and in normal decks, I would say if you're wanting to side deck this kind of option, it would go with, like, Mind Control Change of Heart, because, truthfully, they are the same card. I know people like to say, oh, Change of Heart is so broken. Stop. We are past the point in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where any one-of spell that doesn't automatically win you the game is actually that broken. We're kind of past that point. Like, Change of Heart interacts with the opponent, which already means it's inherently more fair than some of the cards we currently have access to. Like, it needs both players to play. And because of that, Change of Heart is the kind of card that probably never needs to be banned. Maybe at 1, but, like, interacting with your opponent already makes it hard for that type of card to be degenerate, because it at least lets both players play. Can this steal a game? Yeah, but we already have cards that can steal games just as easy. So this idea that Change of Heart is literally going to ruin the game, you are on massive copium. This card is good. It's very good. And in most side decks, I would consider just like one Mind Control, one Change of Heart, because they're just both Mind Control. But it's not that broken. But I will say, despite the fact that I would argue that you cannot tribute this monster doesn't matter on Mind Control, it actually does matter in this deck. The deck is full of the format is full of dark monsters, and Mind Control saying you cannot tribute that card is kind of a pain in the ass when it comes to all your tributors, so Change of Heart not doing that makes it just slightly better. So that's kind of nice. And then 5 cards for going first, like Torrential and Compulse. There are probably better options, but I haven't thought of them yet. And then for the extra deck, I think you've all seen this before, like a Zeus package, the DDD this deck can make, Break Sword, the Super Poly targets, and then like some cool options. You've all seen these before, but it allows you to do some very cool things, and this extra deck matters, which is why there's a Prosperity in here over Extravagance. But now that we've got this deck profile out of the way... Oh! Wait, I forgot to mention. This card. I left you guys waiting too long on this card. While this card is in face-up attack position, special summoned level 5 or higher monsters cannot activate their effects. You might be thinking, what is this for? This card is Denko Sekka against both Sword Soul and Branded. If you normal summon this against Mirror Jade, it cannot activate its effects. And even if they try to brand it in red, summon Guardian Chimera, and then summon back Mirror Jade, neither of them can use their effects. So it just turns off the entirety of their board. And it's the same thing with Sword Soul. Their only disruption they would ever have is with the, whatever the trap is. I can't remember its name, but yeah. This is a card I was testing out. Not only is it, like, nice, but it's also a ties target. So, do with that information what you will. But now that we got the deck profile out of the way, let's get into some replays. Hopefully that acted as some eye candy for you guys, and yeah, that's basically all I had to say about it, the deck, and, well, the format as of right now. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully the format actually stays at a level where going second is an option. I think formats where you can play a go second deck and it actually work are signs of a healthy format. Now, I've seen different interpretations of going second where it's either like 20-something hand traps or just like actual board breakers, but this is honestly something very good to have in a format. And like we haven't had one since probably like 2019, where you could actually choose to play a go second deck like with strikers and whatnot. Like, it actually feels kind of nice. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master Dinner Flex will take your soul.